Hello. This is the Ramblings of an Indisciple Mind podcast for Friday, April 29th, 2016. As of this recording, Sierra is still missing. So, what I thought I'd talk about today is a press release or news story I saw an update to yesterday, in that the widow of Robert Jordan made a brief announcement that a convoluted rights issues for TV rights to the Wheel of Time series has been resolved, and that there will be an announcement coming soon from a major television network to announce the creation of a Wheel of Time TV show. Presumably it's going to be more of a cable type show, I would guess. I'm actually hoping. You know, it's always kind of a double-edged sword when I hear about stuff like this, because, well, first of all, they already tried to make one company who had rights for a time already had tried to make a pilot for a Wheel of Time TV show, and apparently there was a big brouhaha about whether or not it could be shown or whether or not they really own the rights, and so they released this thing, never having been put on TV, online at midnight, trying to, as a kind of a legal thing to say we should still have the rights because we have published, we've released this. It's something that we have premiered, and I guess that didn't stand up in court, whatever process they went through to untangle the rights mess. I'm not getting into that. I'm not a rights guy. I'm not the right guy to talk about rights. But apparently it was not up for very long, and the few people that did get to see it or part of it said it was horrible. Just totally horrible. And, I think fantasy's difficult to do well. It takes a certain caliber of actor. It takes a certain caliber of screenplay to really not make it look stupid. So I will present. I'll stick to more movies, but I do have a TV example. So, obviously, the 800-pound gorilla in the room is a fantasy that looked fabulous, is Lord of the Rings. They did a very good job with it. The things that are things that fans don't like, I got a number of things that I don't necessarily like about it, are things that were story changes that Peter Jackson made on purpose. But as far as the look and the feel and the acting and everything about it, it's a stellar production with great production value and great acting, and it really reflects the world that is in the book, because that's really what you're trying to do. You're not going to go word for word from the book into any kind of a TV series or movie or what have you. And then you got Eragon, which was based on a book that I really enjoyed. The whole series I really enjoyed. The movie was horrible. And you had I think Jeremy Irons was in it. I mean, you had some good people in it, not as the main character, because that was like a teenage male, but you had just the other characters were some main players, but the production value wasn't very good. They obviously didn't have the budget because they cheaped out on a lot of things, and they totally changed the ending around, probably for monetary reasons, because they couldn't whatever afford to do the ending the way the book was. And it was just a horrible movie. And I really feel sorry for the author on that one, because he's, what was he, 21, 20? Because the first book came out, he was still a freaking teenager. How much clout do you have if you go on set and visit as the author for this movie? And you're 20-ish years old. I mean, hell, Elmore Leonard's had that problem. He's had movies he's disowned based on his book. So, and then, TV show wise, they tried to make a TV show of the Sword of Truth series, and we watched a couple episodes of that, and that was horrible. It was terrible. I didn't like the actors. I didn't like the acting. While they were hitting the high notes of what went on in the book, it just wasn't done well, and it was done. If you look at the quality of like the TV series The A-Team and compare that to a serious war movie like you name it, Saving Private Ryan, or to get something that's maybe a little closer to the time frame, Apocalypse Now, or something like that. If you look at the difference in tone and in the obvious TV style sets and props and things like that, that's what Sword of Truth looked like. So that was just horrible. So I'm hoping with Wheel of Time they can really do it justice. Of course, everybody's going to point to the other 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that is, but they did it for Game of Thrones, and that's true. I mean, I love the Game of Thrones series. It's very true to the events in the book. It really captures the feel. It captures the scope. It has a nice realism to it. It does not feel like TV. The quality of the production values are really high. The acting values are really high. I mean, they got some fantastic actors on Game of Thrones, and they get beautiful locations, and the writing is good. And that was part of the problem on Sword of Truth. Writing just freaking sucked. So yeah, I'm hoping they do well. Now that's not to say that there hasn't been other science fiction or fantasy that was pretty good. I thought that the Sci-Fi Channel did a pretty good job with their miniseries of Dune. They did Dune and they did Children of Dune, I believe, and we watched both of them, and those were pretty good. Those were pretty good, actually. So, there are some things, and I guess I would more hope that it's going to be something like the Sci-Fi Channel, or maybe an HBO or a Showtime or something like that that's going to take it on. Somebody that can spend the money on it. If they come out and say that NBC is going to be doing Wheel of Time, I'm going to be super worried. Because, first of all, I don't think any of the big three networks are going to want to really invest the kind of money that doing a top-notch fantasy show is going to take. And number two, the big networks like the thought of genre shows. they like them a lot. They find them interesting. The stories resonate with them. But what they don't understand is that the audience that they get is going to be much smaller, by and large. The audience that they get is going to be much smaller than like an American Idol or The Voice or How I Met Your Mother, that might grab a big range of people and pull them in. You're not going to get a lot of, there's a lot of people that are not going to be interested in a fantasy series, or are not going to want it. Now, you might be really, if you were to look at, here are the, people who watch TV who who like fantasy, you might be killing that demographic and pulling in a few other people besides. But that's not what they're looking at. They're comparing it to the bigger shows that are pulling in all sorts of people, and they're going, well, this doesn't measure up, and then they cancel it. And so I will be very nervous if the network for Wheel of Time that comes out has is ABC, NBC, CBS. That's going to be a major alarm bell for me, because that's another one that's pretty broad in scope, and it's got some beautiful locations as they are described in the books, and there is magic, and there is all sorts of strange things going on there, and it's really quite a place to be. But if they cheapen it by doing it by not doing it well, then it's just gonna fall flat in his face. And then at which point the widow might as well have just held on to the rights. So we'll see. Time will tell. Hopefully it's good. I'm always hopeful it's good. But sometimes I think these entertaining people, they get thinking more about, I don't know, the dollar signs or whatever, and it's just like, why can't you tell going in this is going to be crap? Especially like when you're filming it. Hopefully now that we've got a clear, a lot of this stuff, Sword of Truth thing, that came out long before Game of Thrones. So hopefully what we can get from Game of Thrones is like, okay, so here's the bar that you have to hit. And it's really the same bar that Lord of the Rings hit. Here's what you have to do to make a show that I'm pretty sure, given some of the people I hear talk about it, you've got fantasy lovers, but you've got non-fantasy lovers that are watching Game of Thrones. That really hit it big. So, it is possible to grab people and pull them in, but it's got to be well done. If it looks cheesy, if the writing's crap, then you aren't even going to pull in the core audience that wants to watch it, much less pull in people that maybe that's not their primary type of entertainment. The reason that Game of Thrones is good at pulling people into it is because it's just fantastic in pretty much all aspects of everything it does. So that's what I thought I'd talk about today. I'm already almost at 15 minutes, so I think I'm going to let that be that for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be talking to you then. So, be seeing you.